We're going to walk through how to create a digital notebook using Kami. And so right here, I have my teacher version of this notebook all set out. I got my images, my graphics, my text, exactly what I want for my students on their own notebook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy of this. So again, you're going to first make your teacher version of everything you want to include within the notebook. I got this template from Slides Mania. There are also templates within Kami. So you can search in the Kami library and find a template as well. So again, you're going to want to build it out first. What is it that you want to include within your digital notebook? Once you have that, you're going to go to File, make a copy of the entire presentation. I'm then going to call this the Student Essay Handbook. And what I'm going to do with the Student Essay Handbook is delete things because I don't want my students to have these resources until later, okay? And instead of deleting the page, I'm going to keep that page. I'm going to keep the hook because we're going to cover that first. But right here where it says Introduction, I'm just going to delete anything that I don't want on here yet, okay? Same thing with this page, transition words. I don't want anything yet. Same thing with this one. So again, I'm just kind of coming in, cleaning it up, just keeping the pages that I want because I slowly want to scaffold this resource to my students as I teach them mini lessons, as I go over the different parts of writing. Okay, so now that I have my notebook almost ready to go, we're then going to go over to the learning management system. It works with Microsoft Teams, Schoology, Canvas, and Google Classroom. I'm going to walk through how to do this within Google Classroom. Okay, so there we go. I've got everything out of my notebook. And I'm going to go over to my learning management system, which is Google Classroom for me. And I'm going to go into the class. Now I'm going to click classwork. And now when I hit create, I'm going to click Kami assignment. You do have to have the Kami extension in order for this to work. Once I click on Kami assignment, I'm going to come in here and put in essay handbook. I'm going to then go to my Google Drive, find that student file, and right here is the student one. Here's the teacher version, here's the student one. So make sure you assign the correct one. Once I click assign, I'm going to make a copy for every single student. I can then come in, change the points, change the due date, change the topic, and I can also apply feature controls if I wanted to. Now I want my students to be able to add to the notebook where they can add audio notes, videos, images, so I'm going to leave that open. I'm going to hit assign. And once I assign this, what's going to happen is all of my students, I'm going to open up a student, is going to get that essay notebook. So they're going to go to their learning management system, click on the class, go over to classwork. They're going to just wait a second for it to appear. Let's see here. It's still thinking. And then once it appears, they're going to have that essay notebook in their area. Okay, so now that it's been assigned to my class, I'm going to go back over to my student account, refresh. There it is. Students can go ahead and open up their notebook. What I might have my students do first is maybe just like a prior knowledge activity where maybe I just have them begin to write out an essay. And so they can use the text box. Again, they can use the comment tools and they're able to type out maybe a quick note where they could add their name on here. Whatever they want to do to personalize their notebook, they're able to do. You'll notice that the pages are blank down below because we're not there yet. Also, because I've hyperlinked these already in the slide deck, it allows it to be hyperlinked in my notebook. Okay, so now that I have my students, I am able to open up within my Google Classroom. So I'm back in my teacher class, and I'm able to go in, view instructions, and go over to student work. When I'm under student work, what I can do is I can click class view. And on ClassView, I can see all of my students' screens at the exact same time. So rather than viewing everyone's individual notebook, I can do a quick notebook check by seeing everyone's screen really quickly. And then what I can do is I'm able to give feedback. I've got all of the Kami tools where I can come in and use stickers, or I can make my own stickers and drop them right onto the notebook. My students that get those stickers are going to see them on their screen as well. When I'm ready to add to the notebook, I can add individual scaffolds. So maybe this student right here needs a graphic organizer that not every single student needs. I can come in and just add that graphic organizer for that student. And that student will see that feedback immediately on their notebook. So right there is where I added that. Let's go back and now let's add our next page. So I've gone over hooks. I did a mini lesson over it. My students maybe came in and then they maybe drew some images to help them understand all of these different information. Students maybe again kind of added their own notes where maybe they added some audio notes. And added just some more thoughts, examples. Maybe they did go in and they provided their own example and they used the text box and they typed their example there. So again, students are able to make their interactive notebook their own. Once students kind of do that, and I'm ready to go on to the next topic to add to the notebook, I just want to go back to my Google Classroom, instructions, and I click this button, update work. Update work is going to allow me to push the second page to my students. Now, what I might have to do is I can maybe copy and paste, but sometimes when you copy and paste, the information, let me go down to that page, might not come over the exact same way. So you can see here, some of the text boxes are missing, all of that kind of stuff. And so if you wanted exactly how it looked on your teacher's screen, what I would suggest is just going on here and just taking a picture. So I'm going to go ahead, do introduction right here, take a picture of this. Once I have that picture, I can come back to that update work tab, and I'm going to go into add media. I'm going to add it from my computer because I took a screenshot of it, and then I can add it right in, and I can enlarge it. If I didn't want all of my information shared yet, I could do it by box and say, okay, I'm ready for this box to be shared. Now I want this box. So you're able to kind of think about how is it that I want to share this information with my students. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out just a little bit. Once you have that information ready to be shared with your students, all you have to do is hit publish changes. And what's going to happen is my students will have that page be added to their notebook. So again, I can come in, add images. I could come in and add text. I could add in drawings, audio notes. And now again, my students are able to come in. Maybe I didn't want to highlight this for them. They could come in and use maybe that markup tool and find the title of the page, come in and find the genre and change the colors as well, instead of me doing that for them. And so again, I'm then able to come back to my teacher screen, go over to ClassView and see every student highlighting. And then I could come in and provide that feedback to my students to say like, you got it. Or maybe a student needs help with summarizing. So maybe I come in and provide them a YouTube video and just that student will get that YouTube video. Then I can go down to the next area, transition words. Maybe I have some students ready for it. I can add it just to their notebooks, or again, I can go to publish changes where it's update work and publish those changes, and it goes out to every single student as my notebook is ready. The only thing is you can't add pages. So that's why you really want to think about what is it that I need to include within my notebook before I publish those out to my students. Students, however, are able to add pages. So if you need them to add additional pages, it will not go in between at this time, but they can add it at the end. So that can allow your students to come in, again, add multimedia notes onto their document and really reflect on what they're learning. This is a great way to push out content to your students as they need it in real time.